Going live.
You're live?
I'm live. Hello everybody, welcome to Mad Red United. Welcome to the live show tonight. Going over what is going to be an absolutely huge game tomorrow against Arsenal at Old Trafford. This game has implications coming from all sorts of angles. For Ollie especially, and obviously for Arsenal, who we all know when coming to Old Trafford, no matter what the circumstances, always seem to find a way to bottle it. Is this season, is it going to be the time when they actually change that? Have they got a better chance to take United down at Old Trafford than this? With all the injury news that is coming out of Old Trafford and players that might not be in. If Arsenal mess this one up, then they seriously have to take the Banter FC trophy for this one, because United are a sitting duck right now, and there would be no excuse in my eyes for Arsenal if they bottled this one. But quickly before we started, hello to everyone who's joining in on the live comments now as we go. A massive thank you again. I know I've put it out on Instagram and Twitter already today, but we hit the 5,000 subscriber mark today, and it's just massive news. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been there from the first video when it was a bit tetchy and a bit weird and obviously awkward, and just as you'd expect the start of doing live vlogging and stuff like that to be. But you stuck with it, you stood by me, and it's fantastic that we've hit that 5,000 mark. On to 10,000 as the next milestone, I think, and target that. Hopefully we can get there in some sort of good frame of mind and good mood, because let's be honest, everything has been pretty dour and pretty drab recently around the club. Obviously, if you do follow me on Twitter, links are obviously there on the screen. You can see them. I tweeted out last night. It got quite a bit of a reaction from me saying that people have been hitting me up saying that I'm being too negative about the club, when really my reply to that was, it was just basically exactly what is happening at United right now. We're talking about what's happening. Someone tell me something that's good right now that I haven't already been over, because there are some positives that I have been over, and mainly being the youth and some players coming through, especially from the Rochdale game, the likes of Axel looking good, obviously Greenwood looking good, and then you've got Williams coming on in the second half as well, who also look good. So there are some good things, but the majority of it has been pretty dull, to be honest. And we've got Ollie's relationship with Pogba not hitting it off, and obviously issues there. Why is Pogba not captain against Rochdale? And someone came back and said he was made captain, Axel was made captain because Rochdale was his hometown where he came from. Yeah, are we honestly in a position to be throwing out captaincies here, there and there just through sentimental reasons? I mean, it's not. In the position that we're in, we need to be stabilising. So yeah, you've got that. Then you've got all of a sudden now De Gea has signed his contract that the goalkeeping coach has now left as well. I don't understand. That's a bit weird, seeing literally just after De Gea has actually signed his contract, the goalkeeping coach leaves as well. And I just thought that was a really strange one, to be honest. And to be honest, I think he's a loss. I don't know what you guys think about that. A lot of people didn't know last night, sort of snuck out the back door. But yeah, the goalkeeping coach who was brought in literally has gone. He was De Gea's recommendation. De Gea signs his new deal and then he goes. I don't understand that, but that's bad news for United. That's a loss for me. So there's that, added to the fact that Rochdale went and got beat 3-0 by Wickham, showing us up even more. Then Wickham sort of throwing a jab at us on Twitter as well, taking the mick. And if you've got League One teams throwing tweets out, official tweets out, absolutely taking the mick out of us, then it can't be great, can it? Let's be honest. But let's see if then people have just tuned in, or they're actually watching the video later on when the video goes live on, well, not live, but when it goes onto the channel later, and they're catching up. And the people who say I'm too negative, well, I'd turn off now, people, to be honest. I'm not going to beg you to watch it. You watch it, I'm just being factual, I'm just saying it as it is. That is simple and all it is. But everyone in the comments there just saying congratulations on the 5Ks. I can see you all popping up there saying and all backing me up. Love you all. Obviously, you've been right behind me from the word go, and I appreciate all the support and all the well wishes carrying on. Paul was supposed to be with me tonight, by the way, but he is more keen on doing a review show rather than a preview. I think he wants to save himself just in case it does go wrong. So we are thinking that something might be going on maybe on Tuesday night involving Paul. So I thought we'd just save the best of Paul for an actual review rather than the preview, because he's a bit mellow around the previews because it's not hit its peak yet and it hasn't hit the highs or hasn't hit the lows of what is actually going to happen. Because tomorrow night, let's get into it now. My God, the implements, like I said at the start of this show, after this game and how it goes down tomorrow night are absolutely monumental for both clubs. Don't get me wrong, we're in shit street right now, United. We are closer to the relegation zone than we are the top four. I've seen Leicester just smash Newcastle 5-0. I mean, I'd be in dreamland if United could hit 5 in a game. I mean, not since Ollie's first game against Cardiff have we hit that mark. I'd take 2 right now. We can't score more than 1 goal in a game. Come on. I mean, yeah. So, tomorrow night, people are asking me score predictions and everything already. Do I think Paul Pogba dancing is good? Paul says social media is... that all comes down. I'm going to touch on that a little bit, in a little bit actually, about everything else that's sort of annoying at the moment and getting to a lot of United fans. It's not just me who's picking up on these things, but a lot of United fans are actually getting peed off with a lot of stuff that is going on. So, let's just concentrate on the Arsenal game for the time being, because there is major concerns, obviously, with injuries and players that are not in form, players who are going to be coming in for them, players who are injured, who we don't want to see, and who is and what is going to be that lineup tomorrow night. That is the 1,000,001 question, because tomorrow night, if reports are true that we're not going to see Rashford, we're not going to see Martial, we're not going to see Pogba, basically all our big guns, then wow, I mean, come on, we are starting to worry a little bit. So I am going to go on to the game in a much, but I can't ignore the super chats, and Gold Piece has come in with another one as always. Thank you, mate. Cheers, Adam. Love the content. Let's hope we win the battle of the of the banters. Great work on 5k, on to 50k. Yeah, man, that'll be the day, won't it? 50k, I'll be up there with the big boys then. But yeah, no, thank you very much for that, and obviously everyone else who's given their support from Twitter, from Instagram. The links are all there if you want to catch up with them and see what I'm up to there before any of these sort of videos come out. You get the inside track on all of that as always. But yeah, where are we going with tomorrow's team? Let's be honest. Realistically, there's a worry and a big concern that Matic is coming straight in. And Matic, in an Arsenal game, with their speed and their youthful setup. Another super chat, Dave Whitehead. You all know Dave, he's been on this programme with me before. 5k, congrats mate. Shame about our team. Yeah, no mate. I think you replied to one of my Instagram messages the other day as well, going on. Dave, you will be back on the show soon. If anyone's at the game, just let me know as well. Put the comment in the comment section. Obviously, you know where I am after the game. You know where you'll catch me. Hopefully, it's talking over on the fan cams on the United stand with a result and the win in the bag. But here we go. The worry is that that win might not come simply because we haven't got the players to get the win. Personally, though, I still think that we can take Arsenal. I think every time this comes around, when United's backs are to the wall, with players out, with players missing, and the big team comes to town, well, I wouldn't call Arsenal big. I think if Liverpool or City came to Old Trafford tomorrow night, they'd absolutely smash us to pieces. I'll be honest, I don't think that we can even class Arsenal as a big game at the moment, because they're just literally trying to cling on to top four like us, and it's a big game for us because of where we are in the league and where we are as a club right now, because Arsenal are the team we're competing against. Philip Burtonwood, alright Phil, thank you mate, onwards and upwards. Another super chat there, thank you very much mate. Flying in tonight people, DL, I'll be able to buy, what is it, Red Star Gaming, I'll be able to buy 2 bags of chips for that mate, won't I? Yeah, okay, there's a few more super chats coming. Let's just get through these now. Hopefully someone talks about the Arsenal game so I don't have to keep stopping it, but I am going to bring up all the super chats as I should. Prem Prodigy, thank you very much mate. Thoughts on Ole playing Lingard instead of Greenwood up front? I think would be a mistake and suicide to watch if that happened. Mate, I was literally just getting on to who this team was going to be who were playing tonight, and that rumour came out. I mean, a few other people have spoke about this. We've got one fit striker in the club, and that is Greenwood at the moment. Yeah, a youth player, 17. But in terms of outfield goals this season, he's scored more than anyone else at the club, and he's only started 2 games. And if Ollie's thinking of not playing Greenwood, he was hinting at it in the press conference the other day. It's so demoralising, all his press conferences at the moment. I mean, why wouldn't you play Greenwood? Let's be honest, why would you not play Greenwood? He's the only fit striker and is literally our best striker at the moment. You can't argue with that, can you? I mean, he's good enough, he's old enough, you got all the old classic comments coming in, but definitely prodigy. I mean, Greenwood has to play. I think Ollie is literally, it is a suicide message. It's basically a suicide note. If he plays Lingard ahead of Greenwood and tries to make Lingard a forward, then that weak backline that is Arsenal's backline is just going to go like that. Oh my God. Literally, if we do not win this, then we don't deserve to make top 4. If we don't win this in the current situation that United are in, then questions have to seriously be asked over Unai Emery for that, because he must be licking his lips at the prospect of playing United. That voodoo, that not being able to beat United in the league at Old Trafford, they're all thinking it, and I know there's a possibility, there's a distinct possibility that United are going to do what United always do to Arsenal. David Moyes beat Arsenal, for God's sake. So if Moyes can do it with that team, then I know we had Van Persie and Rooney playing that day, though, to be honest. So yeah, it wasn't it wasn't as bad as what it is now, but still, it's David Moyes. And we all knew that there was a chance that, well, we didn't know it was going to be so bad with David Moyes, but every time a big team came to town, or we went to a big team, he just got rolled over big time. So a few of you obviously giving your comments on the team that's coming in. I'm just going to go through a few messages actually, because you're all keen as mustard tonight. Niz, thank you for the well wishes and the comments on getting to the 5k. Niz has been with me from the start. For every single video comments. Appreciate that. People who comment, and I always comment back. You know I do. If I don't, it's literally because I'm just that busy with the stuff at the moment. I've got all sorts going on right now. I'm doing a preview for the Alkmaar game for a Dutch channel. That's coming up as well on Thursday. We'll be talking more about that later in the week. But there's that much going on, that much content happening at the moment. It's just crazy. Super chat from Dave Whitehead again. Dave, you won some money today, you mate. You're throwing them at me today. Appreciate that, mate. Don't forget, next time I see you, I'll have to buy you a few drinks, and we'll go out hopefully. If Mato and Matic start, mate, I'm done, seriously. Mate, I mean, if them two start, there's a really good chance that them two are actually going to start, let's be honest, because we're struggling. We're really struggling. There's just no players available for that midfield. It's a massive... If Pogba doesn't play, which is a very, very distinct possibility, then I think Matic comes in. I really do. I'll get down to the full team selection soon, but just going over a few of us super chats again. Gold piece again. Cheers very much, mate. What sound is most annoying? Cat's paws at a table, woman's nails on a blackboard, or Jesse Lingard's yelp under a hoodie? You let me know, people. I think I already know the answer. Why have I gone so blurred? There you go. Back again. Mate, everything about Jesse Lingard is annoying at the moment. It really is. He just doesn't do anything on the pitch anymore. I remember, what was it, last season towards the back end, coming into the last 10 games or so, I think I made a comment on the United stand saying Jesse Lingard, the ghost man, because he just disappears off the face of the planet every single game, and he just brings absolutely nothing to the table. I was fuming with Ollie when he brought Lingard on in front of Greenwood at Southampton when they went down to 10 men. Now that is a sign, and I think it was, who was it who came up with it before? Was it Goldpiece or someone? I can't remember who it was who brought up the super chat. Oh no, Prem Prodigy said it. Literally going back to that again, mate. The rumours that Greenwood might not actually start, and he's going to throw Lingard into some sort of forward or false nine sort of position. I mean, coming to think of it now, he literally did that against Southampton, didn't he? He was there, 10 men. If he's not going to play him against 10 men and put Lingard on in front of him for that, then there's a distinct possibility that, sad as it is, that could happen again against Arsenal, which would be an absolute disaster. I mean, a player that has done nothing for so long in Lingard against a player who has scored 2 in 2 starts and is literally our most creative and clinical striker or even player at the moment in the club, does not get on, then I can't defend Ollie for that. I really can't. I mean, the amount of people that have come out and said Ollie out literally already is frightening now. It's gone, I would say, 70-30 in terms of Ollie out at the moment, and this is the one game I think will tip that completely over the edge, because I fear for him. The only thing I think is going to help him is the fact that it is Arsenal playing tomorrow night, and it's a team that, end of the day, we could get beat by Arsenal any day of the week. It happened last season, and I think that's what people will look at. If we lose tomorrow, they'll say, well, we could have lost to Arsenal any day of the week. But it's the fact that what's happened so far this season that is the problem. And I think a few people have said it. We could beat Arsenal tomorrow and then just go and lose to Newcastle next week. And you've seen Newcastle today and last week and how poor that team is. I think Newcastle's a bigger game in terms of Ole and the whole Ollie out sort of thing and how everything is going for him at the moment. Tomorrow night is a big one, literally, because it is as huge for Arsenal as it is for United. Because Arsenal will not be able to live this down if they don't beat United tomorrow night. They will not. There is no excuse whatsoever. Their forward line is all playing well. They've got a fully fit squad. I mean, they've got some of the injured players are coming back as well. I know Tierney's coming back into fitness. They've got a better squad than us at the moment in terms of who is available. There's no doubt about that. I don't think anyone could answer that. They'd take our defensive line tomorrow if they could. I know they would, especially the centre backs. But that forward line scares me a little bit. I mean, to be honest, there's a shout for Axel to play in ahead of Lindelof tomorrow night for me. I don't know what you guys think about that, but Axel really has been accomplished and has done absolutely nothing wrong in the 2 games that he started. Is he going to start against Alkmaar on Thursday? We don't know. It will literally be a case of, if he doesn't start tomorrow, we know he is going in against Alkmaar and he's saving him for that. He's not going to throw him in at the deep end. Because tomorrow night, with the way Arsenal's forward line is playing, then it could be absolutely anything. It really could. It could be a case of we beat them by the odd goal, or they could smash us about 4-0 the way we're playing at the moment. If Arsenal go in front, then I fear tomorrow night. I think that will be up. That will be the game up for United tomorrow. If Arsenal score the first goal is massive tomorrow night, because United, we all know, can hang on to a lead. We've done it. I know we didn't do it against Rochdale, but we did it against. What is it now? What's it called now? Kazakhstan team. Bleeding hell. I can't remember the name of the team now. I've lost it completely, left my head. We did it against Leicester, obviously, as well. And it's just, if we do take the lead, we have half a chance in the way we are and the way we can defend. If we don't, and we have to come from behind, we haven't come from behind in God knows how long. We can only score 1 goal a game. It's less than that on average over the last, over every game since we beat Chelsea, actually. I think we've only managed 1 goal, if 1 or none, in every single game since then, in all competitions. So we need to get the first goal, and then we can see. Maybe we could catch them on the break and get a second, but if Arsenal get that first goal, then I think we're in massive trouble. We're in Astana, thanks goal piece. Yeah, Astana it was. Yeah, sorry, losing my head. Talking about Arsenal just makes me go that way. But yeah, Arsenal get that first goal, panic stations. It really is. Are we looking at anyway getting back into the game if Arsenal get that first goal? That is the worry, because we can't score more than 2 goals a game, and a draw's no good for us. It's not. I don't think it'll get us back in the top half of the table if we draw. I'm pretty certain of that. But as we lie now, 11th in the league, we could be going into that Newcastle game even worse, because we play on the Sunday. We could be, and can you imagine going into that game? My God, the pressure on Ole would be immense. There is literally no room for error now. if we don't win tomorrow, then something goes wrong at Newcastle. I don't think it will. We're too good for Newcastle, surely. I've said that before, I know, but we have to be confident going to the Newcastle game. And we're playing Newcastle off the back of Alkmaar away in the Europa League. So not ideal again. Tough one to call, it really is. It really is. Your messages are coming in thick and fast. Christina, Axel for Lindelof for me. We need his pace at the back and can't afford another silly mistake. First goal, definitely most important. Yes. Leslie Lai. If Man United score first, then Ollie park the ball in front. Man U should be safe. Yeah, God. Yeah, this we were talking about. I can't remember who it was I was talking to about this the other day, but literally, what happened to Ollie from the intern spell, and then all of a sudden getting the job. It's like he just went into Mourinho football, because this at the moment is now worse than Mourinho for me. I don't know what you guys think about that. I know it's a comment to make, but I've never felt this bad. Cheers, Ant, by the way, O'Brien, on the 5k comment there. Cheers, mate. I've never felt this bad in the way we're playing at the moment. I'm so unconfident than what we are, because it just seems worse than Mourinho, because it doesn't look like we've got a plan. I mean, the style of football, what is our style? What is our sort of attack in terms of how we're going into these games? It doesn't look like we have one. We had one under Van Gaal, as bad as it was and as boring as it was. You could see what he was doing. Mourinho, you knew, was defensive from the start, and there were some good games under Mourinho. Now it doesn't seem like we've got any way, shape of anything going forward. It's like we're in the middle of a flux and we just cannot get out of it. It's a weird feeling at the moment around United, because you're going into the games, and I said it the other night, I think, as well, it's now a surprise when we win a game, and it's such a weird feeling to be in. It's hard to break it down and talk about. You just literally got to do, like I said at the start, it's not being negative, it's just talking about what is actually happening at the moment at the club, the things that come out of the club, the football on the pitch, the people who are signing contracts, the people who want to leave. It's all there, and it's all happening right now. And they'll say it's part of the process. I know they will, but the process at the moment is just dropping further and further down the league. Do they think that this process and the backing Ole and the whole long-term plan would involve being so far down the league after so many games? I don't think so. There's no way there's no way that they can say we're fully trusting in Ole and we are going to just ride this season out and back him. It's a long-term process, because United coming from mid-table next season in the summer is a different ball game, and I don't think they've foreseen what was going to happen and how bad we were going to be this season. I don't think I think we was taking a big chance on the size of the squad, and now the injuries have hit and made it worse. And by the time the players coming back get back to full fitness, how far are we going to be then? Because we've seen Pogba didn't look great against Rochdale. He looked a mile off the pace. And how long is it going to take for him to get back? How many more games can we afford to let players come back to and actually get their full fitness and get back on top form? We can't afford nothing at the moment. There's players there in the younger players who are ready to go and are playing well. They should be the ones coming straight into the team. And I mean, tomorrow night's team is going to be the death or the saviour for Ollie, for me, with a lot of fans, because I stand outside Old Trafford, as you know, at the end of the game, doing the fan cams, talking to Flex and the boys. It's already poisonous now as it is. You've seen our reaction to the Rochdale game. It was literally like, it was diabolical. And we are going to get absolutely ripped to bits by Arsenal Fan TV and everyone else if this result doesn't go right for us tomorrow. We are going to get torn a new one, believe me. We can't take that. I can't have that happening. It's just embarrassing as it is at the moment. And we don't want Banter FC Arsenal coming down on us like a sack of shit as well, because then it would just be the final nail in the coffin. And a lot of fans would not be able to take it. They really wouldn't. Speaking of fans, let's get into a few of your comments because they're coming in. Sam Holt, 442 Diamond, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Tunes Maguire, Young, Tom, Fred, Andreas, Pogba, James, Greenwood, Andreas in the 10, McTominay sitting, number 6, not a bad shout. Pereira, I think, has to get better. He's got really lucky with the amount of injuries that are at the club now because he's been playing crap, in my opinion. And when he has moved into that 10 position, he has looked slightly better, albeit 5 or 10 minutes every game and not playing in the right position. That is all his fault. But he has looked alright in that position. There's only one place that he can actually play for me, and that is in that number 10 role. But is this a chance for him tonight with us having so many forward players out? Could easily slot right in there. Ben Evans, all his signings haven't been questioned, which is a real good sign and shows a change in recruitment maybe. All 3 consistent presence, yep, starting 11. That definitely is the best thing that Ollie has done. I said it before, Ollie isn't going to be the long-term manager for United, but you know what? It's crazy, as crazy as it sounds, there's a job for Ollie at United, and that is a director of football, because the best things that Ollie has done has been off the pitch. The recruitment, the players he brought in, bang, 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 all 3 of them are our best players this season. He has definitely got a role to play at United. I don't think he's ever going to get a job at one of the big clubs, so-called big clubs after United. No one's going to take him on. No one would have took him on before. No one even knew him as a manager. Until he came to United. Yeah, people will say he was at Cardiff and he sent them down, but let's be honest, we propelled him onto the main stage just by giving him the job at United. I don't think he would ever get a job at one of the bigger top 4 clubs you could say in any team in Europe, any league in Europe. I think that's just being honest. But you know what, he has got qualities, Ollie Solskjaer, and the recruitment side of it and the players he's got rid of have been great. They really have. It's been a case of that's been great, but the coaching side of it, and he's struggling to get his ideas across to these players. Whether he's lost the players, the ones that are still there that he probably hoped he could get rid of, but he can only get rid of so many in a window. He got rid of 8, albeit 2 of them are coming back. But, you know, he's not done a bad job in terms of that. I do think, and I have credited him and given praise before for it, he deserves it again every time, because Bazaka, James and Maguire all fitting perfect at United and are all our best players at the moment, barring maybe Greenwood. But completely happy with that. And if he does blood a few of the youngsters as well, I mean, what's he got there? He's got, for me, players who are 100% behind Ole, who are showing that they are good enough to play for United at the moment. Who would you say you've got? Off the top of my head, I would say right now, players I'd be happy to see and I'm confident they're going to do their job for United would be probably De Gea, because he's signed a new deal and he looks a little bit more settled now. I'd say De Gea would be there. I'd say Maguire, Bazaka, James, Greenwood. At the moment, I would be confident in them. So you've got, what's that? Is that 4 or 5 players? 5 players, you could become half a team. And you can't play with half a team, can you? You can't rely on half of the team to be playing well, because the rest of them, let's be honest, who else apart from them played alright this season? De Gea's not been great, but now he's signed his deal, we know the potential's there for De Gea. But besides them, tell me, who has covered themselves in glory this season? Who is ready for the fight this season? Them, I would say, would definitely be up for it. And that's, like I said, going back to the summer, there's only so many players you can get rid of in a window, and there are players at United who I think would have loved to have got rid of and would have loved to have had out with the rest of them that have already gone. But literally threadbare now. The only issue I had with Ollie in the summer was the fact that he kept saying that this squad is good enough, this squad is good enough. And going back from what he said last season about the players who didn't deserve to be playing, it's the last time you would see these players. That's the only thing that I really, in terms of in the summer and the recruitment side of it, recruitment was lacking in terms of numbers. Quality was good. Numbers, in terms of players getting rid of, was A-OK. I'm totally happy with it. But he left himself short. He took a chance on a threadbare squad, hoping that we would see the likes of Pogba stay fit, Martial stay fit. Everyone would be in there every single game when we needed them. And we know that's never going to be the case. And that's another criticism of it, because he knew that we were threadbare and he knew that we were jelly babies in this team. Phil Jones, again, all he did was run over the halfway line and he came up injured. I mean, how many chances are we going to give to these players? This is the guy who's slagging Ollie off in the stands against West Ham. Comes straight back into the team. They need to be taught a lesson. And now he's out injured again. I know what I mean? Martial injured again. He always has one injury every season, Martial, where he's out for a couple of months. Right now, when we need him, he's not there. It's not his fault he's got injured at all. But Ollie knew that we had these sort of players that always got injured. We have bad record with injuries, and the fact that we didn't cover ourselves in terms of numbers has to go down to Ollie and Ed Woodward's fault combined for me. Goal piece, super chat, cheers very much, mate, again. Sing along, please, in tune. What are you doing to me here, mate? You making me read this out? Are you setting me up for a fall here, or what, pal? Right, okay, let's see what we've got. No matter, mate, seriously, no matter, no cry. No Matic, no cry. Everything's going to be alright. Everything's going to be alright. I'm thinking Bob Marley there, mate, but I ain't no singer. And I ain't going to start blasting out a tune live on air on YouTube, mate. But I get the lyrics and I get where you're going with it, mate. You're quite a clever person in terms of putting a conversation together, really, aren't you? But thanks for the super chat. And yeah, I really appreciate you making me speak that one out. But right, I'm going to go on to a few of these comments here now because you guys are on form tonight. Everyone appreciating that message there, goal piece. Scott H, same with Matic, fucking around all social media. Now he's back starting for us. Yeah, again, going off what I said about Jones there. We think we picked up on Matic going on, talking crap and then just walking straight back into the team and getting praise from Ole after he dug him out, saying it was going to be his fault after the Southampton game, I think that was. Rave616, how you doing, mate? Ollie was set up for a fail from the beginning. Sorry, you've just gone off screen there, mate. Let me get you back. From the beginning, but he's making things worse by playing the deadwood, not giving the youth a run and then taking the shit off the pressers. I mean, we've seen how demoralised he looked in that Rochdale game. I mean, only the youth players stood up in that game. Everyone else was pretty much crap, weren't they? I mean, Chong had a bad game, I know. But we needed to put these players in to give him the chance to see if they floated or see if they sunk. I think Chong sunk, to be honest. 2 games he's been pretty poor and been totally overwhelmed. Greenwood have stood up and been counted big time. We need to get that guy sorted, tied down. He has signed that contract, but you have to encourage these players by giving them a few more games. And if he sees Lingard, who's come in and done absolutely jack shit for 8 months for the club and done nothing at all, provided nothing, comes in ahead of him after he has scored 2 goals in 2 starts, then it's got to be demoralising for the young lad. Even though he is young, I do feel like it is a bit of a shot to the Nadsack, to be honest, because he's doing everything he can and he's performing. He really is. He hit the target 3 or 4 times in each game. I know he could have put a couple in, but he hit the target. He made the keeper work. I can't remember the last time our strikers were having 2 or 3 shots on target a game. He's done it twice in 2 games. He's created the chances, cut back on his left, cut back on his right. He can hit it with both feet. He took the penalty with the opposite foot as well. I mean, how can you play against a player like that? The more he plays, then the better he's going to get. He's shown it in the reserves. He's shown it in the first team. So, next step, start him in the Premier League. And he has to start against Arsenal. Or the fans are going to go absolutely ape shit on Ole. Because there's no excuse not to play him. Anyway, let's get back to a few more of your message. Where are we going? Giving Axel the armband put of sentimentality is a pussy old behaviour. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I said the same thing. We can't be giving players the captain's armband just through sentimentality. It is poor. We're not in a position to do that. We're at the bottom. We're at the pits at the moment, United, and for doing silly little things like that, I mean, come on, do me a favour, Ole. I mean, we want to be backing you, but if that is the case, then it's poor. Pogba should have been the captain, but that just proves to me that there's a big issue with Pogba and Ole at the moment. It really did. Absolutely agree, Adam. I don't understand how these kids are supposed to get blooded if they're held back. We know the score and would allow them time, but we don't for the likes of Matic, etc. the deadwood is taking the place and the opportunities away from the youth players. That's definite. I think Mata's taking away Gomez's. I think Rashford is taking away Greenwood's when he's fit. I mean, why are these players not droppable? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Ole, coming from United, and he says United this, United that. He, more than anyone, must know that rotation in the forward line is absolutely huge. We all seen what he did in '99. That was rotating with 3 other strikers. If a player takes his chance or a player does not perform well, you get dropped. Simple as. Ole, like I said, above anyone else, must know that is the way and the way United have to work. The standards have to be a certain level. If they're not, you get dropped. If you come back stronger from it, then fantastic. But there's a standard that has to be there and a standard that has to be met just to get in. Mediocrity should not warrant a place in the United starting lineup. It is as simple as that, and a lot of them are getting it. Right now they are getting it, and I think that again goes down and sort of feels down and filters down into other players who are trying to get into the team thinking, what have I got to do? Why am I not getting a chance? The results, the table does not lie. The results and performances from the players, the stats. I know stats aren't everything, but they don't lie in terms of chances created. They don't. And I just think it is hampering the younger players again, like Rafe said there, it really is. Adam, have you heard anything on the biggest question, why Ole is not playing his initial 4-3-3 with Pogba on? Yeah, I know what you mean, Christina. The 4-3-3 has disappeared. It was criminal that we had two holding midfield players against Rochdale League One team at Old Trafford. That was unforgivable. It really was. I don't know why. Literally, as soon as he got the job, and it was the Watford game. I remember it. I remember talking to people outside. I was so happy that he got the job, and we could actually see, because I knew what Ollie would be like in the summer, and he's proved it this summer in terms of getting rid of some players. But I had no idea he was going to do what he did in terms of the way we played and the style of football we're playing right now, which was literally go straight back to safety Mourinho mode. And that is what he has done. He has just gone back to playing too defensively. And then when we go forward, we're too slow, we're not looking to play the ball. City were putting balls into the box. Their strikers, Jesus, Aguero, you've got Bernardo Silva coming in, Gundogan coming in. I don't think any of them are above 6 foot. But De Bruyne puts balls into the box. He crosses the ball. They get the ball, they play the ball in quick. We dilly-dally too much on the ball and let defenders get set. City mix it up. The quickness that they play with and how they try and get the ball back but release the ball and pass the ball quicker. It's just, that is a kind of blueprint that you've got to go off. I know I'm sounding like David Moyes now and stuff, but City are obviously light years ahead of us, and it just shows in the way that they're actually playing. But you go and watch United and then you can see the deficiencies in United's team. We don't pass the ball quick enough. We don't move it quick enough. The transition from defence to attack is too slow, and teams just find it too easy to defend against us. Yet when you've got teams bowing on like Arsenal might do tomorrow night, then we've got half a chance. If we do score a goal, then we are solid. We are a good defensive outfit. But like I said at the start there, if we do concede that first goal, I think it's game over. I really do. I can't see us getting back into it. And again, that all comes down to rotating the squad, freshening things up, which Ollie has to do now. He has to play Greenwood tomorrow night. There's no excuse not to. He has to play him. Simple as. No excuse. He has to play, or he has to put in players like Greenwood, James. Who else are we having up front there? I fear it's going to be Lingard some way or the other, but some quick players who can counter-attack and play to our strength at the moment. I would go as far as saying, where is Darlow? Why can't we play Brandon Williams? Literally, you've got a player in Tierney coming through, who's come up from Scotland for Arsenal playing. Why are we not giving our youngsters a chance now? We know where the season's going. It's a perfect opportunity again, and they can learn so much from this season, because if what we're hearing from United, the hierarchy, Ole, Ed Woodward, and this free pass that is coming in this year, I mean, If we pass for a season, why should we have to accept that we just got to write this season off as United fans? But then again, you would have thought if that is the case, then we would be starting to give some of the younger players a shout and actually giving them a chance in the team. But no, doesn't seem to do it. It goes to safe mode, thinking that this United squad that failed him completely last season in the back end of the season, that cannot defend and cannot play and cannot take a game to a team, he thinks that they're going to be the ones to get him out of this. It's just brain dead to me. It's stupid thinking, because they are proven failures at United. These players are. They don't deserve to be playing week in, week out. They deserve to be dropped. Maybe think about it on the sidelines, watching someone else in their position, thinking, oh, you know what? I haven't just got a set place in this team now. I actually have to work hard and try and get better, because at the moment, like I said, we are encouraging mediocrity and expecting mediocrity, and that is all the standard is set for a player to actually get in a team at the moment. If that is the case, and the players that keep playing play, that is the only answer. It literally is. A few more comments. Anthony Wisdom, how you doing, mate? We used to have a team packed with world-class performers. In my opinion, we've two in De Gea and Pogba, and he don't want to be here. We are struggling so bad because it is our level now. Average is our level. I mean, at the moment we're 11th mid-table. It's where we all said we was going to be at the start of the season, and looking at the way we're playing, it's hard to see us getting back there. I mean, when the players come back and maybe Ollie starts introducing a few more young players and we look a little bit differently, maybe, if Ollie's still bleeding there, that is, then it might change. There's a chance it could change. I keep saying it every single week. I keep getting let down by the team. So, I'm trying to be positive, thinking that we can actually beat Arsenal at Old Trafford, which shouldn't be too much of an ask going off previous records, but there's that ultimate fear at the back of my head at the moment, thinking this could be the year when Arsenal finally actually beat United at Old Trafford, as sad as it sounds. But with that depleted at the moment, it's hard to be confident going into this game, is what I'm trying to say, really. Jordan Finlay, Adam, Pogba shouldn't look so bad against the team fighting relegation in the third tier of English football, regardless of injury. I know I said that one as well the other day, mate. I don't think being slightly behind in terms of match fitness was a complete excuse for Pogba. And whether or not he was playing with an injury, that's why he didn't take a penalty at the end. That's where we find out that his ankle is still bad now. Maybe that was the case. If it was the case, why didn't Ollie bring him off? He played him a full 90 minutes. He was bad from start to finish, really, apart from the odd pass. He should have scored a goal easily with that header. And I think the header was down to lack of match time and basically getting back to match fitness, because that just looked like a player who'd not played for a while, that header. But in terms of where you should be in standards against a team, like you said, from the third tier, then definitely, even if you are a little bit behind the pace, you should still be more than enough to actually be walking through that team, especially if the likes of Wickham can do them 3-0. And that was at Rochdale as well. I mean, God, that is poor. Paul Lucas, a lot of these players would be first choice in the United team of the best, but of the past, but that's not where we are at. No, in the past, no, we just seem to have basically down tools in every aspect of the football. Since Ferguson left, it was like, right, there was our time, we had our time, now it's all over. I mean, none of the other ones would be, I'd say other ones, I mean other top clubs, they don't settle for a season out, do they? I mean, look at what Madrid spent in the summer. I know they're still not great now, but they're messing around with managers as well, and their standards haven't dropped. Barcelona's wouldn't drop. New managers come in every time, we carry on. Bayern Munich, standards don't drop. You know what I mean? Dortmund, they have to keep going. For us to come out and say pretty much like Woodward did last week that this season's a write-off, we trust in Ole, no matter what the results, and going forward it's a process, then that's pretty shambolic, to be honest, isn't it? It's poor for United and the club United size to say that, but I do understand where people are coming from. We are a certain standard right now, and our expectations have to drop. A lot of people have come back at me this week and said I refuse to drop my expectations. The only way United fans, I think, would think about maybe dropping expectations if ticket prices came down, but we're still being paid Premier League top-notch football prices watching Championship style football. That is the problem at the moment. It's why a lot of people are angry. It isn't fair on the fans to just say, literally in May, before the season finished, when we were forced to renew our season tickets and before we knew exactly what was going on in the summer, a lot of United fans may have even give up their season ticket if they'd seen what was happening in the summer and the lack of investment, and we would have sold up that gravy train street of promises and promises and promises. Ed Woodward coming out saying that United's main aim is to bring silverware to the club. Complete and utter garbage, to be honest, because you would have invested more. You would have invested more into the team and the playing staff if you wanted to bring in trophies, because you've seen how badly we failed last year. So, Chelsea next in the Carabao Cup even. Can we see us getting past that? That is a tough game. And there's one trophy gone. Obviously, we can't win the league. There's 2 gone. You've got the FA Cup. I can't see us, the way we're going at the moment, really pulling up trees in the Europa League. I just feel like it's just too much for us in terms of our squad and our depth for us to actually carry out that competition. I mean, we were pouring it against Astana, so it sort of sets the tone in a way, and sort of looking at that's not a sort of competition that Ollie's going full ball for, which I agreed with at the time. I still agree with. I think league, we have to establish ourselves back in the league is the most important. But, I mean, we're in a ruck. We're in a big ruck at the moment, and until players are back and we have a fully fit squad, if that ever is going to happen, then I don't think we can even think about climbing that league to the place that we need to be. The issue was the squad at the start of the season. The issue is the squad now. Obviously, along with the tactics of Ole and the piss-poor football that we're watching, all in all, put together, United are exactly probably where I expected them to be at the start of the season. You don't invest in the club. You get rid of so many players, don't replace them with a team that carried last season out in relegation form over the last 10 games, then what really can you expect? We had James, who is a forward-thinking player and a good player, as the only sort of player that could maybe change a game that was brought in. The other 2 defensively, which we needed, I know. But all we needed to do was bring in 2 more players. Another attacker and a midfielder. They were there. We could have got them players easily if we really wanted to. Ollie said there was money to spend now after the window had shut. Ed Woodward said we are aiming to get trophies. That is the main aim of the club. Well, where was it? It wasn't there in the summer, was it? Let's be honest. It wasn't there. So, you have to blame Ed Woodward and Ollie combined, the whole board, the whole setup, the whole process from top to bottom at United. It's not just Ollie's fault, obviously, but he is a big part of it. Let's get to some of your comments. Let's see where we're at. My son rang me this afternoon and asked me what I thought the score would be. I told him I had no expectations anymore. You're right. You don't write off a season after a season. Yeah, thanks Bernie, mate. I think right now, after them comments last week, they sort of basically hit me like a sack of shit, to be honest, last week. They were the comments that sort of demoralised me a bit. It wasn't so much Ollie this time, it was what came out of Ed Woodward's mouth and what Ollie's having to deal with. But Ollie's actually backing up. I know he isn't going to say bad about his employer, but I mean, come on. If you're not going to get backed, then there's only so much, and I think it's showing on Ollie now. It is. I mean, I didn't see him. I've brought it up the other day. I didn't see him get up once off the bench against Rochdale. It's like he's just losing interest in it right now. His interviews are getting more and more sour. I know the questions are being asked, but you have to expect these sort of questions when you're manager of Manchester United. It is that simple. You can't expect to go into a press conference and not get drilled when we're playing this bad. And Ollie, you've got to step up to the mark. You really do. Where did that 4-3-3 go from when he first started in the interim? We were flying. We could have took on any team. We could have literally took on any team in the league playing that style of football. We took down PSG, for God's sake, without half of our team. And that was the formation. Why did it change? As soon as he got the job, he went Mourinho style. I don't understand it. I really don't. More of your questions. Let's see. Leslie Lai. Anyway, Steve Bruce will be the first to sack. Newcastle and Watford relegated already. I mean, yeah, Newcastle are dire at the moment. Watford just as bad. Total carnage at them clubs. I think they're two that are probably worse off than us right now, which is saying something. Let's see. Viking, where are you? Viking, how are you doing, mate? Viking Red. Adam, this is the same shit they're doing to Tampa Bay. Yeah, you're dead right, mate. You're dead right. I seen that picture and the post from their supporters club about throwing season tickets in. They just don't invest. They had one major start. They won a few trophies. They got the Super Bowl in the first few years, and then it just petered off. Pretty much exactly the same as what's happened to United right now. Under Fergie, the Glazers had the right man in charge. They had the wonder worker, the miracle worker in Ferguson, and few trophies started off, everyone was okay. It was covering up the cracks, papering over the cracks of what the real issue is. And then all of a sudden, Ferguson goes, they lose that linchpin basically that was keeping the Glazers relevant and actually making them look like they were doing a good job as owners. But now that Ferguson's gone, the paper has moved and all the cracks are coming out again, and we're seeing exactly what is happening to Tampa Bay right now. And that is a fair point, Viking, mate. It literally is that. Paul Robinson, how you doing, mate? Congrats on the 5k. He's only trying to play football. This squad are unable to execute. Is all his tactics just rubbish? It's a fair point, mate. What two players would change our style? Two players that would change our style would, for me, realistic, Claire. I got to pick January because I don't think anyone's coming in the summer. Who could we bring in January that was going to change our playing style? I think Maddison would be a good shout. I think Maddison's a great player, centre midfielder, creative box-to-box that we need, who can finish, take dead balls, take free kicks. He's got the lot. He's just got an aura around him. People would say, realistically, maybe McGinn from Aston Villa. I know the names aren't exciting names, people, but I'm being realistic now. And what will be available in January? I think it'll be hard to move a player from Leicester now because they're better than us. As simple as. Table does not lie. They just beat Newcastle 5-0, like I said. Bruno would still be available. Bruno Fernandes. I know that because obviously it's the Portuguese league and it is a step up from the Portuguese. No matter what or how bad United are, coming from the Portuguese league, definitely. Free transfer, Honda and Sturridge, Viking Red says. Right up Ed Woodward Street, that. But look what's coming free in the summer as well from Tottenham. I mean, Ericsson, Alderweireld and Vertonghen. My God, Spurs are going to be struggling in the summer. But I would take one or two of... I'd take Ericsson on a free at the age of 27. I know he's got his eyes set on the bigger prize, probably over in Spain somewhere. But 27 Ericsson, that's the sort of play that would change United, definitely. You have a Maddison and an Ericsson. Different ball game, because then you're looking at De Gea, Maguire into Maddison, into Ericsson, giving freedom to Pogba if he was still there. That would be, but that's a totally different outlook. The one position that is eluding United all the time is the right hand side. They brought James in thinking that he was going to do it, but he plays better on the left. Shock horror! Another player who prefers to play on the left. He is better than Rashford and Martial there though at the moment, so you have to play him there. Simple as. And that right hand side, that is the one, that is the position that's eluded United for God knows how many years. That right hand sided player, who would you bring in there? There will be players available in January. I think we're going to get raped in terms of price, but that's the predicament we're in right now. We are just going to have to pay over the top odds. What was it our kid said the other day? In terms of a striker who was gettable in January, because we do need a striker, obviously. Callum Wilson, shout, for our standard of football right now. Step up from Bournemouth, even though they're ahead of us in the table. So, I mean, he's a good shout, I think. Callum Wilson is a good striker. Nowhere near United standard, gone way back when, but let's be realistic. Is he better than what we've got right now? he's sort of on a Rashford sort of level, but he gets goals, the lad, doesn't he? He gets goals, he's strong, he looks like he's got a little bit about him. Will he improve at United? I don't know. I mean, I think we need another striker, and then we need to promote Greenwood. So we've got Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, and that other striker. There's your four that you always have to have. We need that right inside midfielder. So if United went out and bought, say, a Maddison, a Callum Wilson, or a McGinn, or someone at the moment, would anyone honestly, hand on heart, say that them players would not improve United right now? From Bournemouth, Leicester, and Aston Villa. If we're buying players from them, it shows how bad we have got, and that's no disrespect to them clubs at all, because United standards should have been a lot higher, but we're realistic on this channel and keeping it real, because it is literally where we are right now as a football club, and that is my realistic targets for January, because that's when they need to come in. Gold piece, another super chat. Please don't set me up here now again, mate. Adam, would you take Pochettino at the end of the season if he became available regardless of all his current predicament? I said this the other day. I said, someone asked me, I said, it's like people trying to force me into saying, and other fans into saying, are you Ollie in or are you Ollie out? There is no Ollie in or Ollie out for me, because United have missed the boat on so many managers. I just think it's pointless sacking Ollie right now, because there's no one good enough to recover. There's no one good enough to come in right now. I know, and you look at the managers that are going to be floating around in the summer, there's going to be a few available, and United should be waiting till then. If it goes wrong this season, I mean, I've written this season off in terms of us getting in the top 4, maybe even the top 6 right now. That's just realistic. It is. I just want to see some of the younger players play, and I want to see some decent football, which I think is there in this team, especially in the younger lads, if they get the chance. Manager front-wise, if Ollie does go and ends up getting the sack, then I think... What we're looking at, possibility of managers that are going to be available in the summer. There's 3 that stand out. It's probably Allegri, Zidane, and Pochettino. I think Pochettino and Zidane is a bit of a link between them two, because I think Zidane won't last at Real Madrid, and I think Poch will go straight to Madrid. And then you're looking at Allegri. Who else is there? Laurent Blanc's possibilities, and then you're scraping the barrel. You really are. You're showing basically then that there is situation. There's no brilliant managers out there. The best ones are obviously in the Premier League right now, and at Liverpool and City. I know they've been backed, and you could say maybe it might have been different if we got fully backed. If we got back like Pep did at the start, if I got back then maybe if Mourinho got back the way he wanted to, it might have been a different story. I know it's a big shout, but it could have easily happened. Pochettino, I would take Pochettino still, because I know Pochettino has worked on a budget, and he has made something of a Spurs team that has had drastic injuries, and he has improved a lot of players. A lot of players have improved under Pochettino, and I just think the way United are going at the moment, with us not going to have a lot of money to spend, and that's a fact, because we're about to lose a lot of money from sponsors and Champions League money than we usually get. I do think Pochettino, and people are going to say, yeah, but he hasn't won anything. He hasn't. I'm looking at it where we are right now. Ollie is one step. Ollie was the one that we were hoping he was going to rinse this squad of the shit, which he has tried and done okay with. Pochettino might be the manager to bring us forward. We could be 3 or 4 managers down the line before we hit where we need to be again. It is that simple. We could be another, like I said then, 3 or 4 managers away from being where we need to be. There is a process. I don't think it's going to be one manager. I'm not for this whole process of one manager at all. It is basically a case of Ollie could be the one to do us through this spell. Then you could get another manager. It might be Poch. It might be someone else comes in next, takes us to that next bit. But then there is someone there, maybe. I don't think we are going to win the league in the next 5 years. Realistically, not with the way City and Liverpool are and how far we are away from them. We are going to get better, I do think that. But in terms of challenging for the league, I still think that we're a few years away from that. We could have had 2 or 3 more managers within that time. If we've got a manager that's improving us season by season, then by all means, definitely deserves the chance to take us on that and deserves to be backed. But right now, we're just dropping and dropping and dropping. I mean, it's hard to completely dig Ollie out all on his own because we know he hasn't been back, but he does look out of his depth in terms of tactics and his managerial skills in terms of substitutions, how to change games. He does look out of his depth, and I would not be surprised if Ollie is gone before Christmas. I would not be surprised if he's there till the end of the season and then he goes. That's my opinion on that. I'm not an Ollie out and not an Ollie in. I'm just doing it game by game like I said I would, keeping it real and saying it as it is. I praise him when he deserves praise. I will slaughter him when he deserves it. Simple as that. Paul Robinson, Mustache Adam, great show, keep up the content, buddy. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the video, people, there. Paul's ended it for us. But, yeah, we've been going an hour now again. Thank you, everyone, for coming on in the comments. Thank you for all the super chats, which there have been a few of tonight. Praising the 5K. Let's hope we can keep building and building. We're already well on our way to the next milestone, and hopefully you're all still there with me by the time we get there, because we will get there, because I ain't stopping and carrying it on. Forget about the negative comments and the haters. I'm not built like an Arsenal centre-back. I'm not a jelly baby. It takes a lot more than that to get rid of me, people. Put it that way. Let's hope that Arsenal do turn into jelly babies again on the Old Trafford turf tomorrow, and we get the win that we need big time. But let's be honest, it's going to be tough. Can the boys step up to the plate? We shall soon see. Thank you everyone for coming on and commenting. It has been a great show. We've got through quite a lot actually, and the response from everyone in the comment section and the comments has been superb again. Thank you so much, people. Okay, that's it for me. You will see me tomorrow night at Old Trafford. Don't forget to tune in. Look for my fan cam on United Stand. The match day vlog, the fans view will be up as well tomorrow night. So, yeah. My links there, well, not so much links. The links are in the description below for my social media, but they're there on the screen, as you can see, my Twitter and my Instagram. Get on my Instagram as well, people. That's where I do sort of put the video clips on in build up to all the YouTube stuff and stuff like that. Get a peek in before anything else comes up on YouTube. So, that's it for today. Don't forget, share, like and subscribe if you are watching for the first time. A lot of you already have. That's why we're at 5K. I've got to thank you all for that. It is a big, long journey ahead of us this season. Hopefully you will all be there with me, and it gets better. People, have a good night. Hopefully the start of your week is a United win against Arsenal tomorrow. Catch you later, people. Bye-bye.